what a win for your Iowa Barnstormers. They came back after losing last week badly, and I didn't even get a chance to do a preview video for this week because I got so caught up with other stuff that I just couldn't be able to get a chance to it. But I'm glad that I'll probably be able to do this video, which is the review video for the previous game, and we'll do a preview video for the next game if I can have the time to film it. Because I now have a new job, so it's going to be difficult for me to do some stuff around here. So, guys, welcome to Barnstormers Central. Basically, I'm going to start calling it that because I don't know if it's going to be a review video, if it's going to be a preview video, if it's going to be a reaction video to basically, or a live stream, I should say. So, give me a second. Alright, so I got my iPad up. Let's go ahead and do the review for the Barnstormers and Sioux Falls Storm. And what a game that was. And also, what a surprise that Sioux Falls is playing like this. Their record now, after this loss, is currently 3-3. They are at 500 and one of the worst teams in the year so far. Yes, I am going to say that, and that's going to be the hot take of the video. Sioux Falls is not the same team that they were. So we got a bunch. Sioux Falls basically got the game off and running with the Nate Chavis 2-yard run. And then Iowa freaking scores 3 straight touchdowns. First one to pull within one score because our new kicker, Gabriel Rye, if anyone knows how to pronounce the name, please tell him, put the pronunciation in parentheses in the comment box down below. That would be helpful. Kicker out of Kansas, he missed his first, but then he found it. He made every kick after that. And that is also including a 34-yard field goal to end the first half. And then later in the third quarter, he hits a 48-yarder, almost the entire field, into a field goal. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm like, wait, no. He's made every kick since his miss. I trust this. And he split the uprights down the middle. What a start for Gabriel Rue, or I'm going to say Rue until I know, or is it Rue? I think it's Rue. I'm going to go with Rue. But yeah, what a fucking game this was. Pardon the language, but whoo! Okay, switching over to individual stats. Lorenzo Brown and Tommy Armstrong Jr. did make both appearances for the Sioux Falls Storm, both completing 9 passes. Tommy had 14 attempts. Lorenzo Brown had 17 attempts. Tommy having 111 yards with 3 of the touchdowns, with the only 3 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. And Lorenzo Brown with 79 yards and only 1 interception. No sacks this game, which was perfect. Which means the offense has figured out how to protect the quarterback, which is good on both ends on that. DeQuan Neal had an amazing game after the last game. He only completed 2 of 19 passes, which worst game of the year so far for DeQuan Neal. Not even a question about that. But DeQuan Neal went 11 for 19 for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. Iowa did not turn the ball over at all, I do not think. I'm looking at this now. No fumbles. No, Iowa did not turn the ball over. Nope. It was a clean game for the offense, for the Barnstormers this week. And we have a bye week, I think? No, next week is in Green Bay, which I'll get to that. I'll get to their game here relatively soon here. So, Elad Kuvalu, what a performance. If he's not the offensive player of the week, I don't know who it belongs to. Elad Kuvalu, or I'm going to call him Eli because it's short for Eli. Eli Kuvalu, basically same thing. Eli had 15 rushing attempts, 66 yards, and only lost 1 yard. 4 touchdowns for Elad Kuvalu, one of them being the first play, I think the first or second play of the drive. He was handoff, and it was just down the field. Whew! Elad's quick. He also had, also had 2 receptions for 44 yards. He didn't score a touchdown in the air, though, but all the touchdowns basically came from Elad Kuvalu with the running. 1 rushing touchdown for Daquan Neal, and it was an amazing run. Oh my lord. Daquan Neal almost got sacked. He found a way out of it, and I'm like, okay. He found a way out of it. Freaking weaved from one side of the field to the other, juked a Sioux Falls defender, and dove into the end zone. Oh my lord. I wish that the Indoor Football League did do the highlights, because that was highlight worthy. Excuse me. Anything else I need to talk about here? Not really. Now I have to switch over to the Green Bay Blizzard, who had their worst game of the year, losing to a very surprisingly good Bismarck Bucks squad. Like, oh my lord, they're good. Beat Iowa. What was it? Last week they beat Iowa. I'm not even going to go into the stats on it because it was a god-awful game. 53-22 was the final score of the game against Iowa at home. And then they go to Green Bay and put up another 50 points and only allowing less than 30. So there's a trend with the Bucks this year. The only big loss that the Bucks have suffered this year was against rival Sioux Falls, 64-28. That was 2 weeks ago. And lost the close one against Iowa in week 6. And again, yeah, it's like they're surprisingly good this year. Every time they get above 50 points, they're gonna win. They're only... Oh, okay, no, never mind. Going back to week 3, their worst performance was a 36-18 loss to Massachusetts. But I wouldn't even classify that as their worst performance because, yes, that was only 18 points. But they lost 63... They gave up 63 points against Sioux Falls. But that's beside the point. Going back to... what I was going to do was look at the Green Bay stats from last week and then maybe see if they can perform well against Iowa. So Green Bay's starting quarterback was Damian May. He went 7 for 15 for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Bismarck's Rich Stameti, I believe that's what it says, went 12 for 18 for 152 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. No quarterback got sacked. Green Bay did sub in their backup, which was Brooke Boyles. He went 4 for 5. He was almost perfect. 4 completions on 5 attempts, 67 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Damian May also had 5 attempted runs for 5 yards. Basically, he had 6 yards total if you're also including the loss. So he got a yard every time he ran the ball. So yeah, the rushing for yeah, there was like nothing for that Green Bay could do. They had 2 touchdowns. They had 4 touchdowns via the pass. That was it. So yeah, Green Bay's having a really off year this year. So previewing the game for this week. Oh whoa, this is new. Hold on. What the heck was this? Hang on. Okay, never mind. I figured out what I hit wrong. So the Green Bay Blizzard are now 3-3 after that game. Bismarck is 4-3, but they're playing like they're undefeated, which is surprising. So I can't really say that Green Bay wasn't the better team. Wasn't actually, no team was better at that point. They both had. Bismarck had a 500 record. Green Bay had a over 500 record, and now with how that game went, Bismarck's over 500, Green Bay's back at 500. So this is kind of a really odd year. No, and I don't even understand how. Going to look at the standings here. I'm gonna see if I can find those. Where do I go for that? Schedule standings. Here we go. So, looking at the standings, so I believe the playoffs are the top 8 teams. If that's how it is this year. I don't know what the playoffs are. They haven't even announced that. I don't know. But yeah. So, the top 10 teams so far throughout this year. The Frisco Fighters. Actually, since there is 11 teams, and since Louisville. Oh, yeah. That's something I could say. The Louisville Extreme are no longer a team. So, that's kind of odd. So, looking at teams by record, the best team in the league right now, and I haven't even mentioned them once this season on any of the preview videos, the Frisco Fighters, 4-0, 3 wins on the road. And their first game at home, they barely squeaked out the win against the Duke City Gladiators, who are 9th in the standings. So, it's kind of interesting here. So, it's the Frisco Fighters at 1, the Arizona Rattlers at 2. Their only loss, which they are 4-1, their only loss comes against the Sioux Falls Storm, who have and we'll get to them in a minute. The Spokane Shock, also 4-1, 3 wins on the road, and 1 win at home with 1 loss added to that. Your Iowa Barnstormers come 4th in the standings with a 2-1 record, both home and away, bringing it to 4-2. And like I said, the Bismarck Bucks doing amazingly this year, beating Green Bay. So their record is now 5-3. I'm sorry, I thought it was 3-2, but no, it is 5-3. 3 wins and 2 losses at home. 2 wins, 1 loss on the road. 6th place, and we will see this team later in the year, the Massachusetts Pirates being our season closer. So at 4-3, 1 win, 2 losses at home, 3 wins, 1 loss on the road. They just came off a stunning victory over the Tucson Sugar Skulls, which I will get to them in a minute. And here is the aforementioned Sioux Falls Storm. Basically, the middle pack, 3-3. So this year's kinda, the defending champs don't look like they're champions. So we might have a new champion this year, and I'm excited to see who that could be. I'm kidding. But, I mean, heck, if Iowa doesn't win it this year, that would be interesting. It would be interesting to see if Frisco can pull it off. I would really like to see Frisco win it with how good the performance is this year. Okay, there you go. That's going to be my favorite. Obviously Iowa's going to be my favorite to win it. But if Iowa is eliminated in the playoffs, I'm picking Frisco or Arizona because Frisco's really good this year. So going back to the standings, Sioux Falls with a 1-2 record at home. Sioux Falls not doing good at the Premier Center in Sioux Falls, having a bad record there. And then the 2-1 record, that's their best record on the road so far this season. Actually, ignore that comment. Moving on down, the aforementioned Green Bay Blizzard, who are now below 500, actually. 3-4. 3 wins and 3 losses at home with only 1 road game so far this year. Green Bay has only played 1 road game, and that's surprising to me. So are they going to get all their home games in and then play all their road games later in the season? They're going to be the first team to do fan appreciation night as soon as they reach full capacity, because the Barnstormers are now at full capacity. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Speaking of, the Duke City Gladiators, they come in 9th in the standings at a 2-3 record with a losing record at home. Their 2 wins were on the road. Their first one was in Iowa, and their second win just came this previous week at Tucson. No, actually, no, that was Massachusetts. Who was their second win? Hold on. Who was their second win? I'll have to look at that. Oh, it was against Northern Arizona. Gotcha. Okay, but then again, you really can't. No offense to any of the Wrangler fans, but Duke City is like god awful this year. If they could barely beat a team that they should have lost to, and then they beat a team that not even playing good. And I'll even get to the Wranglers here in a minute. They're actually dead last in the league. But then here comes the Tucson Sugar Skulls at 10 at 1-4. Their only win, I believe, was against who was it? Where are they at? Oh, that was a loss. That was Iowa. That was the game against Iowa. Yeah, their only win is coming against the Duke City Gladiators. So, I mean, this year's kind of odd for the teams in the lower half, especially if you're talking, if you're doing 1-5 and then 6-11. Like, 6-11, there are teams there that are really good that are terrible this year. And then you also have the newcomer in the Northern Arizona Wranglers bringing up the rear, 0-5. They're going to get a win this year. I know they will. They'll get a win this year. Iowa doesn't play them this year, but I know that they'll get a win this year. And I'm excited, and I really want them to win a game, especially at home. But yeah, currently the best streak so far right now is the Spokane Shock and the Frisco Fighters, 4 straight, and the Barnstormers coming off that awful game against Bismarck and getting the win against Sioux Falls. But yeah, so who else plays this week? You got the Sugar Skulls at the Wranglers, and it doesn't look like the... So wait, where's the, hold on. No, Louisville had 2 of the Game of the Weeks, and their previous one got canceled, so. And their first one got actually just basically moved. So, I guess that's all for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed these videos, because I honestly enjoy making them, because it's talking about a local team that most of the people here can actually agree on, which is the Barnstormers. And then you can also, and I also talk about all the other teams, as I just did there. Or I tried to talk about all the other teams, which I just did there. And then, yeah. So if you guys enjoy these videos, leave a like, comment what else I can do better, and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Give me a shot. If you like just watching the videos, that's fine. But hey, I'm trying to get y'all on board, and maybe a lot more of these videos coming out. So guys, until next time, you gotta ring your cowbells, because the Barnstormers hit the road again, and it is against Green Bay, and I will see you guys later. See you guys.